Time to kick it old school, turn the clocks back, break the rules. When the pixels pop and the world was cool, we're taking it back, that's how we roll, we roll. It's time to kick it old school, where the beats are fresh, the tech was gold. From arcades to TV shows that ruled, you know we're kicking it old school. MTV playing our favorite jams, moonwalking with MJ, Neon Slam, Ghostbusters gear, we're ready to go. Chasing slasher scenes, fears in tow. Back to the future, hop in the DeLorean. Knight Rider cruising, man, there's no ignoring them. Battlestar Galactica, what a ride. Looney Tunes, antics, pure joy inside. Blockbusters ruled, we lined up for days. Video games booted up in their pixelated maze. Movie marathons and popcorn nights, we ruled the screen, living in the lights. It's time to kick it old school, turn the clocks back, break the rules. When the pixels pop and the world was cool, we're taking it back, that's how we roll, we roll. It's time to kick it old school, where the beats are fresh, the tech was gold. From arcades to TV shows that ruled, you know we're kicking it old school. Grab your joystick, the game's about to start. A high-score world, now that's an art. We're cruising on hoverboards, living our dream. Old school forever, we're igniting the scene. It's time to kick it old school, turn the clocks back, break the rules. When the pixels pop and the world was cool, we're taking it back, that's how we roll, we roll. It's time to kick it old school, where the beats are fresh, the tech was gold. From arcades to TV shows that ruled, you know we're kicking it old school.
Today's episode is brought to you by PTZ Optics. This ability upgrade. New Wave Toys and their Replicate Amusements products. GG Retrobox. Get 3 to 5 games from your favorite series, consoles, and game genres delivered to your doorstep every month with GG Retrobox, the ultimate retro gaming subscription box for video game enthusiasts. Use code GRS15 at checkout to get 15% off your first box. And
Boom shakalaka! Hey everybody, it's Tim Kitzer here, the voice of some of your favorite video games like NBA Jam and NFL Blitz. And I'm here to talk to you about Old Skool Gamer Magazine. It's the magazine for retro gaming, and it's exploding. Kaboom! Print issues come out every other month, and if you want to go green, digital options are available. Visit oldschoolgamer.com and subscribe now. That's oldschoolgamer.com. Boom shakalaka! Kaboom!
And we have sound. Bill, we should have sound. Thank God it's Friday. And Bill, welcome, man. It's been a while. It's been a while since we've been on a show together.
It has. It has. I've been looking forward to this. We've been talking about it for a couple of weeks, so.
We have been. And once again, welcome to everyone in chat. So the beginning part of the show where I was just showing you there was no sound. I'm just trying some new things with the show. I'm trying to try new things out, show you some behind the scenes. Bill and I were talking about all you guys. You couldn't hear us. So we were just talking about you all. We have some fun stuff.
All good things.
Yeah, all good things. Of course, all good things. We have some fun stuff we're going to show on the show today. Of course, this is the talk show of the Retro Gaming Show. It's nothing's really ever put in. Like Bill's like, what are we going to talk about? Same thing I tell everyone else. We make it up as we go along. It's a fun Friday. It's a relaxed Friday. We work hard all week, right, Bill? Hard working. Time to relax.
Oh, yeah.
Time to relax. Now, Bill, since you're my guest today, do you want to go through the chat and read our
drink
what
already.
do you got? What are you drinking? Scotch?
Little Jim Beam Vanilla. It's one of my favorite, just like sipping drinks. It's got a nice smooth flavor to it.
I'll have to try it. I got my classic margarita mix here in my, I don't know, some cup I got somewhere. But in any case, Bill, do you want to go through the chat and welcome all the people in the chat?
Oh, well, let's see. Let's see who we got here. Of course, let me go back to the top here. Let's see. Hello to Meatball Saucy. Got Pliskin's Run. We got the best moderator in the business, Jason Lilalian. Adam Kalb is here. Biggie D's Arcade. Giovanni Sean. Ben Bauer. Michael B. the Game Genie. Fretburner 89. Let's see. Van Alphen is here. Andy's Game Room is here. Stephen M is here.
I love reading these
let's
chats.
see. Papa Brad's Gaming. Hello, Papa Brad. Green Sammy 87. Kevin Clausen, put your pants back on, please. A Punks is here. Hollywood Polo. Goofy Foot. Always good to see Goofy Foot. Sathios is here. JJ is here. JR is here. And hopefully I didn't miss anybody.
I saw Upgus. I see Upgus in there too. I don't know if you may have said him.
Ah, good. Okay.
So welcome everyone. Welcome. We made another Friday here. We know you guys work hard every week, and I always appreciate it. And Bill appreciates you guys spending some time with us here on your Friday
Absolutely.
nights to kick off the weekend. So again, nothing really set in stone. I have a couple things I want to show you guys and talk about, but I also want to talk about Bill. Now, you guys all must know Bill from Bill's Retro Gaming Show. His logo is right below his face on his TV set. If you're not a subscriber, you got to help the boy out. How long have you been doing this now, Bill? How long have you been on YouTube?
I think it's going to come up on 3 years
Been that
in
long already?
February.
3 years?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
it's
we got to get your subs up.
Absolutely.
We got to get some subs up. So he did great content. He actually just did a video on my KVM switcher for the Arcade. And if you guys are having some sound humming issues, he's got a couple things in the video. Very inexpensive to free, really. There was one thing he didn't cost a dime, just moving a wire around. But do check out his video and subscribe to his channel. Always give him a thumbs up. That really helps us out. The small guys helps us out a lot. Even if you give a thumbs down, it's just interaction. And the YouTube algorithms see that, and they help hopefully push the video out a little bit more. And Bill's a good guy. He's been doing this for a long time. I've known him for a long time, and gotta get subscribers up there. Gotta get him up.
I'm trying.
It's not
And
easy.
I think I'm one of the few that, like, again, not to toot my own horn or to brag on you so much, Glenn, but I think I'm one of the few who's done a bunch of videos on the arcade with that switcher.
Yep.
And I gotta
Checks in
tell
the
you,
mail. I
I've
got my
been
check on the mail to you, bud.
there you go, good. No, but in all seriousness, I do think that has been a game changer. You know, if you were a fan of iArcade, if you had the machine and were sad that they went out of business, even if you didn't care that they went out of business, but you had the machine anyway, that thing is so worth it. And I'm glad that you're doing more of them.
We are,
Got,
and that's a
gotta
big
get
thing.
gotta get to that 200 so that
Yep.
those can go out
So
to people.
we are doing on DungeonStickStudios.com. We're doing our last. This will be the last chance for you guys to get the KVM. And if you don't have one, like if you don't have the Ultimate Control Panel, but you want to have it, we will make you an Ultimate Control Panel. Charge you, of course, but we can make both. But this will be the last run. We know there's about 4,000 people with the arcades out there in the world. We emailed them all. So December 25th, we have to get at least 200. Of course, if we get more, we'll do more. But this is the last chance you guys will have to get that KVM. After that, it will no longer be made. We'll be using the KVM for other things. It will not be specific to the iArcade. So entering the matrix. That's exactly it. In fact. So this would be your last chance to do that. And I also want to say something else here too. I know there's a lot of talk with the upcoming President Trump coming into office. Not being political. I am not being political, but he has said he's going to start raising, tariffs on things that come from China. Now it's no secret that my stuff comes from China.
Mhm.
So we are doing big sales right now, 30% off on everything on the site, including now the Ikari Warriors Super Joystick and 50% off the Build-A-Case. So I would suggest if you guys are all interested, they all make great Christmas gifts, by the way. I would get them now because who knows what's going to happen in the new year. Is that we can do that? If they do a 50%, 100%, 300% tariff, it's just going to get added on to the cost. There's nothing I could do about that. Of course, we're concerned about that because we make inexpensive stuff for you guys that's high quality, and we'll still make it as inexpensive as we can. But if you are at all interested in the Build-A-Case, the Flight Yoke, the Ikari stick, anything, talk about tuning your own home, Bill. I do it myself every time I'm on the show.
I know,
Uh,
I know.
this is the time to get in, the 30% off. This is the best time to do it. That's right.
I just figured I had to fulfill my contractual obligation early on in the show, get it out of the way.
I appreciate that, Bill. I really, really do. I should do that. We should do a Bill and Glenn Elf on the Shelf. I think we should do that.
Ah.
Do that. So again, there's nothing specific I want to talk about on the show, but Bill, I do want to, since you're on the show, like what have you been doing lately? I know you've been obviously making some videos, but have you been playing any specific games? Do you have any specific new machine you want your eye on, or something along those lines?
Uh, I mean, in terms of keeping my eye on something, for a while now, I've been debating, do I want to upgrade to the 4KP pinball machine from At Games? Because I've got the HD, which I
Right.
do like, but more and more, I keep looking at that thing going, I kind of want to do it. I kind of want to get one. And now that they've got this thing with their affordable financing, throw 600 down and then it's like, 50 to $100 a month, depending on which one you get for 12 months. I
How
mean,
do you feel about that, man?
the fact that it's no interest, I think, is fantastic. They've got other like payment options on their thing, but they're interest based. You're going to pay,
Right.
like 40 or $50, in interest on the thing. Them doing this at no interest, look, if you don't have the 2,000 to lay out or 1,500 or whatever it is right away, it's kind of a no brainer, to go that way. Cause I've done a bunch of these type of things where you pay over time and 99% of the time they've got some kind of interest on them. So,
Right.
which sucks, but this is a pretty good deal for them to be doing this. So I'm probably thinking early next year, I might wind up doing it. They usually do another like big sale, like around February. So I think maybe by then I might
And
jump in and do it.
think about that too. The At Games pinball machines all made in China as well. So if you guys are on the
Yeah, it's
fence, if you guys are
yeah.
on the fence for this machine, again, do what Bill's doing. Get it now. Do the interest-free stuff and get it now because who knows what's going to happen in 2025. That machine may become twice the price or 2.25 times that price.
Mm.
So this is something you guys really have to think about for the holiday season, right, Bill? These are things you got to think about now. If you want this stuff, nothing for
Yeah,
the
it's
kids.
true.
Give the kids
It's
coal.
true.
Go to the grill outside. Get some coal out. Give that there. Give the wife a piece of coal. It'll turn into a diamond under pressure, right? Give 'em a piece of coal for that, and get yourself an At Games Legend, Build-A-Case, and so forth before it's too late. There we go. Always
Hey,
plugging.
wait, bring up Michael B's chat.
Which one? Which
Uh,
one? Oh, here we go.
If they'll let me, yes.
I will let you do it here, man. I'll promote you big time. Big time. Yeah, I know on P Dubs, he had on Monday night multi-cade. He kind of went into the whole thing with influencers and at games and how that's going. You know, it is what it is, right?
Yeah.
Companies sometimes have favoritism, and I can't say there's anything wrong with that because obviously the influencers that they are doing it for, it helps them out. That's the industry we're in. I mean, I could tell you guys from my standpoint, companies like you or they don't. They'll steal from you or they don't. That's just how it is out here. So
Yeah.
it is what it is. If you want the product, I don't think an influencer or anyone really does influence. What Bill does, what I do, Michael B, and all of us do out there is simply show you what we have in our possession. Whether I like it, whether Bill likes it. Sometimes Bill and I have talked about the stuff, and obviously I'm right and he's wrong. But that's just that's just how it is.
It's just the way it goes,
It is. But none of us can really sway you. I mean, we like see influencers, but it's really I have this product. This is what I like about it. This is what I don't like about it, and you can agree with me or not. And it's rare, I think, to change your mind. You already have in your mindset something you want to buy. You want to see it in action, and that's kind of what we do. We show you it
Mhm.
in action. Either that you buy it anyway, or you don't. Um,
Yeah.
it always comes down to the individual. And that's what Cool Toy always says. I'm not here to sell it to you. I'm here to show you to make your own opinion. Except when it comes
Yeah.
to Build-A-Cade, you want to buy it. I'm telling you, buy it. You want it, get it now.
And there's enough of us who cover this stuff. It's always smart to, I've always said, it's always smart to get, watch a bunch of different videos from a bunch of different people, get a bunch of different opinions before you make a decision.
Exactly. I mean, you have certain YouTubers you also follow. Some guys are more harsh. Some guys are not. Now, if the harsh guys are a little bit easier on it, and the nice guys are a little hard on it, that's kind of in the middle, and you get
Mhm.
your thing. But there's no perfect product, except of course the GRS Build-A-Cade and everything on the Sunset Studio website. So I'm practicing my K19 Fox. He does those super chat things. I do it with products.
Uh-huh.
In there. I'm trying, but it's really comes down to personal preference. And to be honest, I don't really think anything out there right now is really like bad, except of course Arcade One Up. That one obviously is. That's my opinion, but
Mhm.
pretty much I think what's out there is pretty good now compared to wouldn't you agree like 5 or 10 years ago when stuff was coming out? That was like really cheap stuff. What do you think, Bill?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I think there's a lot of really good stuff out now. I mean,
Well, just look at
it
like my arcade, right? Those little handhelds. When they
mhm.
first came out, they were NES on a chip units. Now we're getting pole position, or we had the Space Invaders card. They were like really good. The Street Fighter, really good, and the
Mhm.
prices are reasonable. Not
Yep.
quite as good as reasonable as a Build-A-Cade, but close.
And even look at companies like, again, even with the smaller things, you look at Quarter Arcade or New Wave Toys. I mean, New Wave Toys, the stuff that they're coming out with now compared to the first few that they came out with, just unbelievable. Just all the different, like every time they come out with one, they're adding something new and interesting to it. And it's pretty wild.
That was a good one, Mike.
Oh,
That was good. That was good. And then that's the last time, Bill. Well, we've been on we've done a couple of shows before, but that's
yeah.
primarily how we met was
Yes.
on Game Time.
Yeah.
And I know I left for the reasons I was being a little crybaby over Arcade One Up. I know, but that is what it is. But um, in any case, I do think that companies now are making stuff better overall. I think at games make stuff that are better. I think that my arcades make stuff better. Now, Atari. Let's talk Atari for a second, Bill.
Sure.
Did you get yourself a plus 7800 or 2600? Have you dived into one of those?
I have not. The only thing I've bought recently, and this I bought last year, and it's Atari adjacent because again, it's My Arcade, is the Game Station Pro. You know, that, or that whatever they called it, the Atari thing from My Arcade.
Yep. And I just can't. It looks so bad. Like I can't get into that just because it just looks bad. I understand it plays 2,600 games. I know you can load more games on it and put other things on it. It just looks terrible, in my opinion.
You know, it was one of those things, kind of like you were talking last week about jumping in on the what was it, the 2,600 plus or whatever, because it went down to like a good price.
It was like 109. I think it at 109 for Black Friday.
Yeah, it was the same. It was the same thing with that Game Station Pro. It went down to a really good price last Christmas. I said, you know what, for that price, let me check it out. It's okay. I mean, I'll play it once in a while, but I did buy it for the fact that I knew I could load a bunch of other games on an SD card and throw it in there. So I've got like every 2,600 game on there, not just the ones that it comes with. I've got Nintendo games on there. I've got Sega games. I've got anything that I thought I could play with that joystick and the couple of buttons that it has on it, I threw on there. So it's, you know, kind of like, you know, I had kind of like I had with my Raspberry Pi when I just, you know, had that a bunch of games on that and threw it on a TV.
Now on that My Arcade one, is the joystick paddle? Is it, or is there a paddle on the controller?
There's a paddle on the control. There's a little dial on the controller.
Okay, so at least I'll give them that over the at games, because like I was going to say between the two, the at games Atari 10, the one that looks like the little Atari 4 switcher, I would go with that because at least you can put games on an SD card easy and it looks like a little Atari. However, there's no paddle on their controllers. Now you could probably put a paddle. I don't know if I tested that. I think I did. I don't think it worked. Or I think it worked with like Breakout, but you couldn't play Indy 500. Like the driver controllers didn't work. Maybe that's what. But as far as the 2,600 plus, the reason I'm not into that is, again, there's so many other ways to play Atari games. And if you're going to make a mini or a recreated Atari, a 4 switcher was not the way to go.
Yeah.
It should have been a heavy sixer. That's what they should have. At least 2. You should have did a VCS heavy sixer and a Sears Telegames heavy sixer. I would have been on board with that because at least it looked like the classic. Now the 7,800 plus, maybe. I mean, one that goes on sale. I'm not going to pay $150, $40 on that.
Look,
I won't do that.
At this point, like I said, unless you get that to 26, and it was the VCS you bought, not the 2,600 plus, right? It was the VCS. Yeah.
Right.
At this point, unless that 2,600 drops down to a ridiculously low price, there's almost no point because that 7,800 plus is going to play the same games. That the 2,600 plus,
right? But I think someone was saying there was some emulation difference right now. That 700 plus was a little more compatible with a couple of things. That the 2,600 plus was not.
Yeah.
But as far as I understand it, the inside guts are the same, so it must be the firmware. You have to maybe do another firmware update on it. Maybe.
Okay. Yeah.
What do I know? I don't know. I don't have either one, so I'm kind of talking out my butt right now. But see, like Papa Brad, I want to see if they're doing this. Make an Atari. They did the 400, right? So maybe not that, but I want to see like a Jaguar. I want to see a miniature Pong. 4 games on it. Don't care. I want a little Pong that works and plays the right way. So Atari does have all these things they could do, but if you do it right. That 4 switch Atari was just bad design in my opinion on that one. That's it. So let me switch gears again because why not? It's one of those Fridays. What are you working on, Bill? Like, what's your next project you're working on?
You know, most of the time I just tend to play each week by ear and keep an eye on news and interesting things that come up. And if something strikes my fancy, I'll make a video on it. I am doing a fun little project right now for the Christmas season. I bought myself this little, let me see if I can grab it. Hang on.
You got it. I'll play the music. Bum, 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 bum,
try to do this without breaking it. So I bought myself this little, this is the start of it. It's not Lego, but it's Lego like. It's a Christmas tree. But it's it's an Advent Christmas tree. Every day there's a little bag with a number on it with pieces in it. And each day you put a piece of the tree together. So I'm doing shorts every day. I started this December 1st. It'll go through December 24th. Every day, you'll see me put this together, and they're like
That's
anywhere from
interesting.
30 seconds to like a minute, depending on how much is involved each day. And it's
Where
been a
did you
fun little project. It's totally different from anything else
did you find that local,
I
or you find
do.
it online?
Um, it was on Amazon.
It was
Now,
in Amazon.
yeah. Um, it was either last year or the year before. I think it was the year before. I did a similar thing. I bought one of those Funko Pop advent calendars. It was it was Marvel superheroes, and each day you open the little box and you open the little baggie, and there's a little mini Funko Pop of a Marvel character, Christmas themed, Santa hat, or they look like a gingerbread cookie, or something like that. So I did a series of shorts for that for Christmas, and it was a lot of fun. And some of them got some decent views. I think I got some a pretty decent amount of subscribers out of doing that. So I thought, and this year I was going to do a similar one. I was going to do a Super Mario Brothers one, but it was like 50 or 60 bucks for
Because
this
of
thing.
the
And I saw this thing and it was
like
like 30 bucks. I happened to stumble on this thing around the same time for 30 bucks. And I was like, you know what? That'll be different. At least that'll be different from the last thing I did. And I thought it would be a lot of fun.
it's
So
actually that's a really interesting idea. I'm not gonna lie. I think that's a really cool idea, um, to do something like that. Because chocolate, I mean, my son always wants a chocolate one. Actually, I
yeah,
forgot this year, but he's like 19. I guess it's okay. But that's a really cool idea, something along those lines. Never really thought about something like that. So is that gonna be like the tree's just gonna get like that when you're done type of thing?
yeah, I forget how big it's going to wind up being, like probably almost a foot tall by the time the thing is done, but
Get the
it's going to
P-dubs.
be but
So
yeah,
now
I thought it would be a lot of fun, and then I'll figure out a place to store it and bring it out every year with my Christmas stuff.
it's a neat idea. That's a real neat idea. It really is. Uh, One of the things I want to bring up, you actually sent me a link
Mhm.
earlier today, and I'm like, I totally forgot about that. So why don't you tell us what this is? Let me pull this up over here. Over here. Boop.
Okay, so yeah, for those of you like us who grew up as kids in the 80s, how many of you remember Freaky Freezies? For those of you who have no clue what this is, these were gloves that you wore in the wintertime, and they actually had a design on them, but the design didn't come out until it got cold. Well, they're bringing them back, and these are the new ones. Now, I seem to remember that when they had these, they licensed them out to or they got licenses from like Marvel and all these other things, so you could get like a superhero character or something like that on it. These are a lot more generic than I remember those. They're also more expensive than I remember. These are like 30 bucks. But still, I think they're
Gotta
pretty
see a kid
cool. I
kid
definitely
size.
remember having a pair of these when I was a kid.
Let's see, adult large, $34. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so so they're not cheap gloves, but, they look like a lot of fun. I might actually buy a pair.
Now they're gonna come out with remember under rules? They'll be coming back again.
Yeah,
Remember those things?
I
I
do.
remember some kid who was still in high school was wearing like a Robin under rules in gym class. I'm like, really? Like 18 years old, bud. You get rid of those things.
Yeah, no.
So that's again really cool. Again, stuff from the 80s, man. It's just the stuff's just good. Music's good. The TV shows are good. Movies are great. I've been
Well, it's
watching.
amazing how much stuff just comes back
Comes back.
around, you know?
This week has been the Arnold Schwarzenegger week. I've been every night putting on Predator or Twins, Commando. I was going through all the Schwarzenegger movies.
Nice.
My son goes, "What was that from the '60s?" I'm like,
Oh.
"No, no, it was not from the '60s. Come on, I should have slapped him on that one." Let's see here. Another thing I kind of just wanted to show you guys. I'm not sure if the audio will come through. I might have an echo. I don't know. But Peter Harrisburg, who was on the show before, he did the that Battlezone 2 port. Remember
Yeah, oh,
the Battlezone 2
yeah.
port? So he obviously really likes Battlestar Galactica. He's like a really big Battlestar Galactica fan, and he made this fan production. It's actually how long ago? Actually not that long, about 3 months ago. But I want to show you guys this 'cause I thought it was really really cool. If you ever make this full screen here, will it come out full screen? I think so. So let me see if this actually comes out okay. If it doesn't, let me know it's bad. I'm gonna mute us because I'm not sure if it's gonna like echo. But maybe I have to leave yours on. I don't know. Let's see. Let's start this thing.
It is the Galactica. The ship is adrift. Scan for human survivors. Energy levels are increasing. It is a deception.
So I just wanted to throw that out there and share it. I'll put a link down below if you guys want to catch the video later.
That
My
was
goodness.
really freaking cool. It's amazing. It is amazing what people can do on their own
They really
right now
can,
with
and
this.
Peter he's a really good guy. But I'm like you said, Bill. I'm a huge classic Battlestar
Mhm.
Galactica fan. I did like the reboot was okay. It was all right,
To
but
a
for
point.
me, to a point,
It got to a point where it was like, I don't know.
it got
But
dumb. They had like three chances they could have wiped out Cylons, and they were like, oh, maybe we shouldn't. What are you, an idiot? Of course you shouldn't. Uh, but the classic one is like really good. I just thought that was just so well done. Um, this guy did himself. Between all the other things this guy does, he wrote and did this thing here, and that's what gets me. A lot of these fan-made things sometimes can be
Mhm.
better than full production. I was
Yeah.
watching I guess it was out like 12 years ago. I didn't even know it was like Star Trek Gods and of Gods and Men or something like that. But they got like almost all the original Voyager cast, all the different actors from like Voyager, Deep Space Nine, classic Trek in
Mm.
this movie where it's like an alternate reality. Um, I'll try if I find it, put a link down below to it. But it was good. When you watch these new Star Trek movies or TV shows that are so bad, you look at this stuff and you're like, wow, people with the spare time making stuff that's really good.
Yeah.
Here's the link to the
Yep.
Battlestar Galactica one if you guys want to see it. Fill it down there. But I just thought he did a really good job with it. Just wanted to show that one off.
No, I think it looks really good. Very cool.
So here, boom. Another thing I was going to talk about is, oh, of course, it disappeared again. Gotta love the computer here. I'm going to pull up my Facebook page here for a second. So if any of you guys have a TI 994A or a ColecoVision or an Atom or an MSX computer or any computer that used this chip, the VDP, the video processing chip of the TI, um, there was a thing called an F18A that lets you pull that chip out. You put this new chip in, and it gave you VGA out and all these new video modes. Made it really
Mm-hmm.
advanced. Now this got me too. There's some guys making a TI 992. It's a prototyping board. That's not what I was going to show you. Some gentleman using FPGA, small chip, going down here. Where is it? These guys right here, these Pico. So I guess you're using
Oh.
A Pico, and it's going to replace your TI video chip or your ColecoVision video chip or Atom or MSX, anything that uses that chip. This little Pico, and it gives you VGA out and F18A mode if you want to play games designed for F18A. It's $35. When I bought the F18A, I think I paid like $80 at the time. So if you want to get your old ColecoVision or second ColecoVision, I never do the original. I always keep like one pristine, as you know, like a 15
Mm-hmm.
others. But if you do want to get VGA out on your ColecoVision or your Atom, or you have an MSX computer or Tommy Tutor or TI-99, $35 will get this little Pico board. That's it, VGA out, and that just blows my mind. They could do stuff like this. Now, Bill, I'm not sure if you know about, like the Amiga, if you're big on the Amiga, but they came out with a similar thing for like the processor. It was just supposed to be that it was a Raspberry Pi that was going to
Mm.
replace the processor board, but it expanded. Now it does all HDMI video. It does AGA modes. It does your hard
Wow.
drive. All these different functions on these inexpensive little chips. Like the Pico was like $4,
Mm-hmm.
and to be able to do that, so that is freaking cool. I don't know. The uh, the gentleman was doing. I put it down right here. If you look it up on Facebook here, if you're interested in a
I can tell
yeah.
you this: if I do pick this up, Glenn, guess what's coming to you to help me help me put it
That,
in?
well, we're close enough. We were literally like
I know.
25 minutes door to door. I was actually hoping one day either I'll do a show with you there, or you come up here in my frozen basement cave and do it live that way.
We'll work that out. Maybe when it gets a little warmer, we'll work that out.
Boom. That's the gentleman you want to talk to about that. So I just thought that was really a cool thing. And that's the other thing too. You always talk about people making like retro games, right? Or homebrew games. But
Mhm.
people don't talk too much about all these hardware enhancements for old machines, um, for your old Ataris. Now, what's your favorite classic console and computer, Bill? Like, what's your favorite one that always gonna be number one to you, no matter what?
ColecoVision for sure is always going to be number one because it was the first real gaming console I had. Now, before that, I actually did have a Coleco Telstar.
Nice.
I had the triangle shaped one that had it had
Ah,
the wheel on one side, the gun on one
gun.
side, and then the paddles on the other
You
for the
still have
for
it?
the Pong. Oh no, gone a
Oh,
long time ago, long time ago. I wish who knew back then when we were kids, when the new thing came out, who cared? When you were a kid, when the new thing came out, who cared about the old
I
thing
sold
anymore?
my I
Now
sold
you
my
look
heavy
back.
sixer, back then in like 80 games because I wanted a computer and I bought a TI. And Simon, it could be power issues or it could be bad video RAM. Now, if it is bad video RAM, that Pico would fix it because it's got all the RAM for the video on the chip already, so it
Oh,
bypasses
that's
any
good to know
bad
too.
RAM. That's just something you might want to still consider. Maybe that'll fix your machine for $35 potentially.
But as you know, obviously, I do have a ColecoVision again now that a friend of mine
Yes.
sent me, and I have the Atari add-on for it. And every time I find a game somewhere, I pick one up for it. So it's a lot of fun. I fire it up every once in a while, and I still play on it
Yep.
because it's always now. My next thing is so. Let me start. Okay, let me start with
Done.
this. Let me go to you first,
Uh-oh.
since we're talking about this. Do you have a memory as a kid of, since it's the holiday time,
I have a
of a
Syntax
Christmas
error.
of a Christmas where you really wanted something really bad or didn't even know you wanted and got and your parents got something for you game related for Christmas that was like, this is the best, this is awesome. Do you have one of those really special memories? I do. I'll share mine, but you go ahead.
I do, and my parents knew not. Remember, I'm an old man, so video games. My parents had no concept of what they were at all. So them buying me something out of the blue, no. But when I was 77, actually, for me it was 78. My cousin got it in 77. Was it 2600? I got the Sears Telegames version, and that just blew my mind back then. Again,
Mm,
people need to remember there were no electronic games like an Atari, other than and Pong was out for a little while, but there was
yep.
really nothing like it to sit down in front of your TV set, put it on channel 3, reach around the back and turn that little game box on there, and
Yep.
take this little cartridge, pop it in, and see something come on the screen that you controlled. That was mind blowing back then. So I had my Sears Telegames with came with Target Fun. Now that's all I had for a while. It was just that machine with that one game. But
Yep.
that was it for me. I really blew my away because again, it was $200 back in 1978, which was like $600-700 in today's money. It was a lot of money.
Yeah.
For my father was a truck driver, my mom was a stay-home mom, so that really was my special one. What about you?
So for me, so going back to the ColecoVision, I had that, and then for 1 year for Christmas, I really wanted they made a rollerball controller for it. Came with a game called Slither,
Oh yeah,
which
yeah.
which wasn't an actual arcade game, but in any regards,
No,
it was.
there actually
There
there
was an
was
arcade,
there
but
was.
I always remembered it as more of a Centipede type knockoff, which it was. It was always kind of a Centipede knockoff, but I remember that rollerball controller. I wanted it so bad. And it's so for leading up to Christmas, my father kept saying to me, "Don't get your hopes up. I can't find it anywhere. I'm trying. Don't get your hopes up." Well, Christmas comes, we open all the gifts, and he's like, "Wait, I got one more for you." He brings the gift out. I open it up. Boom, there's that rollerball controller. I was like, "I thought you said you couldn't find it." He's like, "I found one." So
Now,
he totally fooled me on that, but I was so excited because I wanted it so bad.
the funny thing about that controller is it's not a true trackball. When you move the trackball in directions, it's just doing joystick motions. That's the only
Mhm.
thing that sucks. Now the 2600 had the same one version was a trackball. That's the only thing that got me about it because I got the same thing with Slither, and
Yep.
you put it was a beast. You put both controls on each side, all the buttons on there.
Oh,
It
yeah,
was
this
nice.
sucker was huge. It was, like, almost the size of the ColecoVision itself. This thing was massive.
So that I got a Caldor. Coleco gaming crash already happened, and I went to Caldor. I said, "You guys have anything left around here?" And they go, "I got this thing here. I got to charge you full price for it." I think it was like $50. I'm
Yeah,
like, "All
something
right,
like that.
I'll take it." And that's where I got mine from. My favorite for the Coleco was a Super Action controllers though, because I want to play
Yep, I remember
Frontline.
those too. Yep.
And if you don't have that yet, Bill, you gotta get the Super Action controller. They have a great version of baseball, football, Rocky,
Rocky,
and
I remember Rocky.
Rocky was pretty
That
good,
was a
but
lot of fun.
Frontline was like the best home port. And it just sucks because Coleco came out in '82, and the crash happened like literally a year later.
Yeah.
It kind of swept that away because I do think that the ColecoVision would have held its own against NES. I think it really would have. The NES was technically a little bit better in some spots,
Yeah.
but the Coleco was better in other spots, and the Coleco had
Well, they had already they were already planning a second one too, weren't they?
they were everything. Yeah, well, that they were doing the Super Game module, which ended up turning into the Atom because the game
Right.
they saw the writing on the wall with the home consoles, and they kind of took wafer tapes and
They
made
yeah,
it
they pivoted to a computer, which
right.
that was
Which
that was my first computer too,
the Atom
was the Coleco Atom.
was it really?
Yes.
I had a TI already, and again the crash had happened, so everything was now super cheap, and I was going to buy an Atom cheap. It was actually an expansion module for my ColecoVision, but instead I took what I had. I bought upgrades to my TI. I bought like a 128 memory expansion. I bought the MV. I have two very rare, I guess rare nowadays, MVX expansion modules for it,
Mm.
which was the first home console. The TI was the first home console with voice recognition, and I used that like this, voice recognition.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you remember those little toy robots that Tommy used to make, where you could speak to it and it would do commands. But what you had to do was you would say like raise arm, and then it would like record a sound sample of your voice saying that.
Mm.
So it's just learning the voice sample waveform. So it wasn't really recognition, and that's what the MBX did. You said like pitch, shortstop, home base, block the runner. You could say shit, poop, diarrhea, and as long as you remember what they went to, it would have worked because the machine really didn't know. And that's what my friends came over. We would just say we were playing baseball, like there's an old song, running towards first, my pants are gonna burst diarrhea, going towards
Mm.
second, can't win a second. So that we were doing like stuff like that, really stupid things as a kid.
Yeah, well, we were kids. Of course, we did stupid things like that.
Okay, okay. So what was your most stupid thing you did as a kid? How about that?
Oh, jeez.
There's a good one. Tell me yours, I'll tell you mine.
We could be here all night. Um, so the area where I live is very, very wooded. A lot of woods and stuff behind. And I remember going over to a friend's house that was down the street, and we decided to take a walk behind his house in the woods. And
Okay.
I seem to remember we were either told not to or not to go far or whatever, and we wound up getting lost. And we had absolutely no idea how to get back to his house, none whatsoever. I think they actually I think they actually had the cops come looking for us. It was like 7, 8 o'clock at night before they finally found us and brought us back. That was one. I think the other one that comes to mind is I have 2 younger brothers, and
And
we
you
didn't
you
fight,
still have them? You didn't lose
and they're
one.
still around. And they're
Anyway,
still
okay.
around.
Okay.
We didn't fight often, but when we did, it was rough. And I don't remember what my brother did to piss me off, but I wound up chasing him into the bathroom, and he closed the door to the bathroom, sat down on the floor, put his back against the sink cabinet and his feet against the door, and
Lock
I
it.
banged on the door so hard that we almost knocked the sink off the wall.
Mm,
Yeah, my father came home, and I don't remember much after that.
wow.
So
Wow.
those are probably my 2 biggest.
I don't think mine was quite that bad. Mine was just stupid. We were stupid kids. So back when people went outside, when kids went outside during the summer, we had bicycles, right? So we all had bicycles, and we made a lot of like jumping ramps.
Yep.
Some not very safe with people like sometimes underneath them, you know. And I was a heavy kid. I mean, I'm me now. I'm a twig now, but back then I was not. So it's not good to be under someone's bicycle on a ramp when someone's heavy pedaling,
Mm.
you know, on a huffy bike. And I
Mhm.
definitely misjudged and wiped out, like landed on him. The bike smashed. We all cut up. It was just a dumb mess. We learned though, skinny kid on bike potentially making a jump, and the heavy kid, below, or not do these kind of jumps with people under it at all, perhaps.
Mhm. Oh, well, where was the fun in that, though?
There wasn't. We did stupid things, like that. Going down, how fast you go down the hill without brakes.
Mm.
When there was a road down, a semi busy road at the bottom, we used to all the time. No brakes. No, you would be chicken. You're the chicken. If you put the brakes on, so you would go across. And one time, a car came and I jumped off the bike and I like landed on like a glass bottle. That was also quite painful, as well. So yeah, just typical early '80s, probably late '70s, but yeah,
Yeah.
stupid things.
Yep.
That's what we did back then.
And yet we survived, and
And
we're
we
here.
did. And yes, that's right, Bill. That's a perfect point. And we survived. Today, you can't even like you can't use I can't even put it I don't want I'll get a cancel culture, I can't even say anything. But it's just like we survived. We had cars where there was a bench seat in the back and there was no seat belts. In
Yep.
fact, People were sitting in the back of pickup trucks going down the highway. We survived.
Yep.
I don't know. I worry about the generation today because they don't know how to do anything. We kind of learned. You watch your father do something, fix a car, or work on a lawnmower, and your mom cooking and doing laundry. Okay, we didn't learn from mom too much, but now we had no choice. We had to pick it up anyway. But it's like they're just like this all day.
Yep.
So they do, and kind of worries me a little bit.
There's another one for you. I can remember my father. Same thing. Like my father had an old Triumph convertible that he bought.
Okay.
I don't remember the year or the model or whatever. I just remember this being a cool car, but he was constantly working on it. And he'd be in the garage working and, Bill, go get me a beer. Dad, can I take a sip? Sure, you can have a sip. By the time it got to him, it was halfway done.
We used to trick our parents. We would take at a party, and they're drinking beers, Heineken. What are they drinking? Back then it was probably Peels or Schlitz. Back then,
who knows?
But what we would do as kids, we would fill it with 7-Up, put 1 or 2 drops of Coca-Cola, not Pepsi. Pepsi sucks. Coca-Cola in there to make it look like beer. And we just start drinking the stuff. And one of us, I think we got hit. We actually got hit because it's just 7-Up. No, sorry. Because you remember, as a kid too, they were smoking cigarettes. We used to have those candy ones.
Yes.
Back then, sitting there smoking the fake candies. That's what we did back then, and it was okay.
And they had the ones that when you kind of puffed on it, it spurted out like a little
powder stuff
sugar
came out.
powder or whatever, and it looked like smoke. Yeah.
Yep. And we all survived. Crazy.
Yep.
So we were talking a little bit before the show. Like, we had Black Friday, right? Black Friday came. I really didn't. There wasn't anything I saw that was spectacular for Black Friday. Did you get anything? Do you see any really great deals other than GRS products are going for 30 to 50% off right now at Thunder6Studio.com? Thanks, K19 Fox, for all these cutovers here. How about you?
I did wind up picking up a couple of things. Actually, I'd been for a while. I bought one thing that you could say is for the channel, and I bought one thing that was for me.
Okay.
So the thing for the channel is I finally decided to get myself a stream deck.
Oh, I've
been wanting one for a while. I said, you know what? I had this other little cheap knockoff thing that I was using for macro keys, and I didn't like it as much. So I said, you know what? They had the 15 key stream deck for, I think it was like $120.
That's not bad for.
So it was a pretty good deal. I said, you know what the hell? So I wound up picking it up. I actually use it a lot, like when I'm for work. Because every day I start work, I've got to open up like 3 different browser windows, Microsoft Teams, Outlook, all this stuff. I set up one macro button. I click a macro button and everything pops open, and it's like, this is great. How did I get along without this thing? So, but I've got that set up now for different stuff, so that's fun. And then for myself, I wanted to getting this.
Oh, nice. I got the 2.
I have the 2. I have the 2. I've had it for a couple of years. Now. I really debated on if I wanted to
do the upgrade.
I didn't want to go to the 3 because that was too much money. So I figured the 3S right? was a good
$299. $299.
It's $299. So it wasn't on sale, but Amazon did have a thing when you bought it. They gave you a $75 credit.
Because you got that, but you also got the Batman Arkham.
And I got the Batman Arkham to go. I haven't opened it yet. I'm going to leave it till it gets a little closer to Christmas, and then I'll open it up and whatever. But I picked that up. I got the $75 credit, and then that went towards other stuff that I bought, which was gifts for other people to kind of bolster that a little bit. But as far as Black Friday deals, that was the main thing.
Okay, Mobile Mutant, you're gonna get one of my new super chats. I've been working on some new super chats. I'm gonna give you one of my new super chats. Here you go, bud. I gotta find which one. We're gonna give you this one because that's a Build-A-Case.
Fire!
Just because he asked for Christmas from Santa Claus. I got to put that in there. That was awesome.
And still the best Star Trek movie
It
ever.
is. It is. I mean, there's the new ones I'm not a fan of. I watched them a couple of times. I'm not. But Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan was just like the perfect mix of like everything.
Mhm.
Especially after the motion picture, which was good, but it was kind of boring. The special effects are great, but it was
Yeah.
kind of lame. But
Yeah,
Star
but
Trek
we
2,
didn't need a half hour of the shuttle circling the Enterprise.
well, as a kid though, in a theater, in those old theaters where the screens are actually big,
Yeah.
you were like, you were starstruck. It was like, wow, the ship looks great. But then Star Trek 2, and then I cried, man. I cried like the baby bitch I was when Spock died. I went home. I'm like, Mom, they killed Spock, and it was devastating. It's like Optimus Prime dying. It was
Yeah, oh yeah.
what? It
Yeah.
was bad, bad. Um, but I totally got us off track here when I did, I did all that.
Uh.
But it was a really good film. And actually, I watched that scene. I remember as a kid, we didn't have we had a VCR, but it didn't have the on screen like video. You had to stop, rewind, hit play. It wasn't like the real time. And I
Mm.
broke our Panasonic VCR because it kept playing that scene over and over. It stop, rewind, play, and it broke it. My father was, oh my god, he was pissed. That thing of VCR was a Panasonic. We spent like $800,
Oh my
and,
God.
like 83 on that. And I did a spoiler. Oh shit.
Uh-oh.
I'm sorry, Jeff. Buddy, I'm sorry. It's only from
Oops.
1982, buddy. It's not like it's ancient. Well, I didn't cry with Debbie Does Dallas, Jason. I didn't cry at all. I wish I would lived in
No,
Dallas
but you
back
still
then.
needed tissues.
Oh! Look at
Boom.
maybe a blanket. But anyway. Oh, the old days on God, I can't think of Game Time, man. It was how many episodes did we do with that anyway? Do you remember? How many episodes of Game Time that we did? I don't think we had 100. I don't know.
No,
You
I
were on
don't
it for
think
a
we hit
while.
100. I don't think we hit 100. Like 40 or 50 maybe.
And it's been like what, 4 years? It's maybe 4
No.
and a half. I think it has been because I've been doing this show with Steven at least 2. Maybe it's 3.5 years.
No, because I mean I've only been doing this, like I said, for like 3 years. So it was like a year ago, I think, that we stopped.
No, it's got to be longer than that. I'm gonna have to look it up for next time. I'll have to look it up. It's got to be longer than that. I don't have that much Alzheimer's or dementia yet. I don't think. So tell us, Bill. We have a little time left. Tell us more about your channel. You want to promote your channel? What you got coming up? Any videos coming up? What's going on?
So I'm looking at a couple of things. There's been a couple of things that happened lately that I just haven't had a chance to talk about. I'm really interested to see the fact that Evercade is partnering with SNK. They're going to have some Neo Geo games, so that looks pretty cool. There's still some cool stuff coming up later on this month from At Games, including the fact that on Christmas Eve they're going to be announcing the Zen titles and HD titles that they have planned for early next year coming out. So I know a lot of people are going to be excited, looking forward to that. So yeah, I know going into next year, CES is early in the year, so I'm excited to see what.
Are you going?
Hopefully, some of the. Oh, I wish I would love one of these years. I would love to go to that. I've never been to that. I would
I
love to
haven't
go one of
either,
these
but I
years.
don't think it's what it used to be. I just don't. I mean,
None of these things are.
I don't. Yeah, I think they
None of
were
these things
definitely
are.
they had their better days behind them. So
Yeah.
it's like I think you go to Comic-Con, right?
Yes.
Yeah. See, I went to Comic-Con before it was like I think it was like 5 guys in the back of a truck. That's when I went to Comic-Con.
Yeah.
It's gotten so corporate and everything. I can't even. But
It's huge now. I started going. The first year I went was 2009. I think it was like their 5th or 6th year.
okay.
So it was still pretty early. And yeah, I mean, tickets weren't expensive. You could get them almost up to like the day before, and just go. Now it rivals, and some years has actually surpassed San Diego Comic-Con in terms of how big it is how many people go, all this kind of stuff. You
Really?
can't.
They,
Oh
they-
yeah,
really? I didn't know
they
that.
get.
Man.
They get. They've had over 150,000 people go to that show in some years. I think like maybe like before COVID, they're kind of building back up now, like everybody is after COVID. But yeah, like you have to get tickets the day they go on sale, or you're not getting them at all. It's one of
Scalpers,
those
right?
kind of
Same
things.
thing.
Yeah, it's insane now how just, and I've been lucky every year being able to get tickets because again, just like with the San Diego one, if you've gone in the past, you're kind of grandfathered into being first in line to get access to the tickets. They will do, they'll do a day where they'll put them out there for, people who've been to the show in the past, and then they'll do a general sale to everybody else. So that does make it a little easier to get them, but still it's a lot.
And I want to say something real quick too. Game Fridge is here, and I want to congratulate him. He got 1,000 subs on his YouTube channel. So, um,
Awesome.
so
Congrats.
again, if you guys haven't checked out Game Fridge's stuff, please give him show him a little love. Go to Game Fridge on YouTube and subscribe to his channel. Watch some of his videos. He's got some really good stuff on there as well. And again, congratulations, sir, for 1,000 subs. Me, 12,000 subs, 12 years. I'm not gonna live to be 100, so I'm never gonna get 100,000. But that's okay. That's okay. What are we at here? So, anything else you want to say before we wrap up the show?
Just again, thanks for having me on. It's always fun hanging out with you. We always have a good time. I hope people enjoyed the show. I think maybe you got something a little different tonight.
Okay.
Got to know us a little better, hopefully. And yeah, if you haven't checked out my channel yet, please subscribe.
Definitely.
I'm just shy of 2,500 and would love to hit 3,000 early next year. So
How about before next year? How about like by New Year's? That's something we need. We need 500 people. Talk to your friends. There's easily that many people in the community. Please go sub to Bill's Retro Gaming Show and get him to 3,000 subs for the end of the year. And then, but while you're at it, check out Game Fridge as well and give him some love as well. Totally forgot. So, if you guys did purchase the Viper, the standalone Viper, shipping is just about starting. So you should get a confirmation email any day for your standalone Viper. Now, if you order the Viper with the fan and the heat sinks, that's gonna be delayed a little bit because we're still waiting for some of those fans and heat sinks to come in. But if you do order just a standard Viper, you should get a shipping notification relatively soon. And the Build-A-Case FU edition, full size unit. Right now, the wood is just being finished being cut. So we're going to do a test fitting, and then we'll make sure all of our other components work perfectly. So I'm hoping still to get it for the end. I was hoping to have it now. The hope was to get it before Christmas. I may get it before New Year's. I'm hoping, and do an unboxing and assembly video and show you guys the completed unit, all the features it has, and then we'll start the crowdfunding. And again, one last thing: if you are interested in the II Arcade, or you know someone who may be interested in the II Arcade KVM, December 25th, midnight. That's it. If we make 200 units, we're gonna make it. More units, that's great. If we don't, we'll refund it. But this is it. There will be no more II Arcade KVMs. So please tell your friends. You may know, you may want it. Last opportunity to get. I think it's 149 this time. It was a little bit more money because everything's gone up and can't afford that. Change that. But if you're interested, look at this. Boom, you got some subs right here. Look, subs. There we go. Subs. That's what we want to see.
thank you guys.
That's what
Appreciate
we want
it.
to see.
Definitely
And look,
appreciate it.
Game Fridge says right here. He loves his KVM. I
Yeah.
love it. And Bill, you love yours too.
Oh, absolutely. It's been so much fun.
I gotta tell you, I didn't show this either. The reason I had this on in the back, I've been playing Doom 3 on the Viper. I didn't play Doom 3 much on the PC, but it supports it. So I was playing Doom 3, Doom 2, the God, oh God, oh God, Duke Nukem 3D with the high res pack in there, playing that as well. We're still doing lots of
I haven't
new
checked any of those. out. I've been trying to keep it more of an arcade multi-cade.
open
Just
board. You
playing
got
the
to at least put
arcade,
open board
but
games on there. Open board's got some really good stuff on there. but we're still doing a lot of here, like right, boom, Video Game Vegas, doing 3. It's awesome. So we're still doing enhancements to it. We're still doing software updates. We have still things planned for it, so don't worry. But of course, the Build-A-Case FU edition, full size unit, will have the Arcade 3588. So we're going to really kick it up on a lot even more powerful emulators in there. But Bill, I appreciate you coming on, bud. And we have to get together.
Yeah.
Hope for New Year's. Let's go out for a couple of whatever you're drinking, whatever I'm drinking.
Sounds
today.
good.
And it's a good
Yeah,
barbecue.
I'm sure we can find ways to get in trouble.
Yeah, maybe maybe someone has to bail us out.
Just don't tell my wife.
Come bail us out. So listen, everyone. As always, I always appreciate you guys spending a Friday nights with me here. It's really appreciated. You guys are the best. You're my Friday night family, and you're my family throughout the week as well. Bill and I both appreciate you guys coming out. But remember, as fun as we have here, and the fun times you have with retro gaming, please take a moment to always thank your family, friends, your kids. Just tell them you love them. Tomorrow's never promised. You could be here today, something can happen, and you're not here tomorrow. Always make sure that they know you love and care about them. With that, Bill, give me the final word.
And of course, game on.
That's it, baby. Go see Super Game Room, dudes. But let's listen to that song one more time.
Blowing on cartridges in a reset. 8-bit dreams, can't lose that bet. Floppy disks and arcade lights. Pac-Man, Frogger, we're playing all night. Simpsons in the background, neon in the air. 80s vibes, man, we didn't care. VHS tapes staying up too late. Saturday cartoons, can't wait to escape. Dial-ups humming, we're hacking the code. Back when everything was in upload mode. Atari, Commodore, pixels on screen. Living in the future was more than a dream. It's time to kick it old school. Turn the clocks back, break the rules. When the pixels pop and the world was cool. We're taking it back, that's how we roll, you know. It's time to kick it old school, where the beats are fresh, the tech was gold. From arcades, TV shows that ruled. You know we're kicking it old school. MTV playing our favorite jams. Moonwalking with MJ, Neon Slam. Ghostbusters gear, we're ready to go. Chasing slasher scenes, fears in tow. Back to the future, hop in the DeLorean. Knight Rider cruising, man, there's no ignoring them. Battlestar Galactica, what a ride. Looney Tunes, antics, pure joy inside. Blockbusters ruled, we lined up for days. Video games booted up in the pixelated maze. Movie marathons and popcorn nights. We ruled the screen, living in the lights. It's time to kick it old school. Turn the clocks back, break the rules. When the pixels pop and the world was cool. We're taking it back, that's how we roll, we roll. It's time to kick it old school, where the beats are fresh, the tech was gold. From arcades to TV shows that ruled. You know we're kicking it old school. Grab your joystick, the game's about to start. A high-score world, now that's an art. We're cruising on hoverboards, living our dream. Old school forever, we're igniting the scene. It's time to kick it old school. Turn the clocks back, break the rules. When the pixels pop and the world was cool. We're taking it back.